Good evening. This is a meeting of the Athens Board of Zoning Appeals. The time is 7 p.m. and the date is July 9th, 2013. At this time, I'll call the meeting to order. The board consists of 5 members and 2 alternates, the alternates taking full part in the discussions and becoming a voting member in the absence of a member or when a member abstains for conflict of interest. Present tonight are Greg Lavelle, John Gulsey, Joan Kronansky, Lisa Carson, and Kay Towsley. I'm Betty Hollow, the acting chair. Also present is Secretary Paul Eschenbacher. The board operates under the following procedure. The chair will name and address and describe the case. The zoning administrator will state the basis of the objection and any applicable facts or conditions pertaining to the case. The appellant or representative will give reason why the appeal should be viewed favorably. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the request will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak in general comment will be heard, and anyone wishing to speak in opposition will be heard. If necessary, the appellant or representative will offer concluding summary or rebuttal remarks. Testimony from the floor will be closed. The board will deliberate and render a decision. According to Athens City Code Section 230703B, the board has the power to grant variances from the strict application of the code, provided the variance will not be contrary to the public interest, the spirit of the code is observed, public safety and welfare are secured, and substantial justice is done. According to City Code Section 230910C, variances from the code shall not be granted unless the board finds, based on direct, specific findings of fact, that each of the following conditions have been supported. The first one is practical difficulty and undue hardship. Because of exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions pertaining to a specific piece of property, a literal enforcement of the regulations would result in practical difficulty or undue hardship that is unnecessary to the achievement of public purposes. Exceptional circumstances. They are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question or to the intended use of the property that do not apply generally to other properties or classes or uses in the same zone. Preservation of equal property rights. Literal interpretation of these regulations would deprive the appellant of rights commonly enjoyed by others in the same zone and the same vicinity, while a granting of the requested variance will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that's denied to other properties in the same zone or vicinity. Minimum variance. The variance granted is the minimum variance required to make possible the reasonable use of the property. Absence of detriment. The authorizing of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property and will not materially impair the purpose of the zoning code or the public interest. Not of a general nature. The condition or situation of the specific piece of property or the intended use of said property for which the variance is sought, one or the other or in combination, is not of so general or recurrent a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation for such condition or situation. Any person, resident, or officer, department, or appointed body of the City of Athens aggrieved by a decision of the board may petition the Athens County Court of Common Pleas concerning the illegality of the decision. Such petition must be filed within 30 days after the mailing of the decision of the board to the applicant. There are only 2 cases on the agenda for tonight. The first is Case 1307V. It concerns the property at 912 East State Street. The second is Case 1308V. The property is 268 East State Street. The board takes testimony under oath, so anyone who wishes to speak at all tonight about any item on the agenda should please stand. Yes. And then I'll ask you, do you swear or affirm that any testimony you present to the board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Do you so affirm or swear? I do. Thank you. Okay. As I said, the first case before us tonight is 1307B. It's in a B zone, B3 zone, and it's at 912 East State Street. The appellant is requesting a variance from ACC 230313I 4D to allow a second freestanding sign on one land parcel in a B3 zone, where one freestanding sign is the maximum allowed. Mr. Eschenbacher, can you tell us something about this?
I have very little to add. It's a straightforward request. Just to mention that the lot is big. It goes from that car dealership on one side to McDonald's on the other. So that's...
To McDonald's on the other?
Yeah.
My goodness, okay. I didn't realize it went quite that far. Okay. Anything else?
No, unless you have questions.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you know how that Save a Lot sign came about or was granted? How was it granted? The Save a Lot sign. Is a
In
free.
what way?
Well,
It's the only sign.
there is a freestanding sign right there. How did they get it?
They just applied.
And they just got it?
Yeah, you're allowed one freestanding sign per lot. They got theirs. whatever it
Well,
was.
so when you say it's all on one parcel, that does not imply the same lot.
But this is all one lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
that Save-A-Lot and,
Well, I mean, that whole shopping center is on one lot.
okay, with Big Lots and Save-A-Lot
Yeah,
and,
all the way
okay,
down to Little
AutoZone.
Caesars.
So they were first come, first serve? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't there when Kroger's was there?
I don't
And
remember.
grandfathered
I
in?
can't
That's
remember what signage
That's
was
what my
out
guess
there.
was.
Well, Kroger's is on the other side, though.
Well, I know, but Kroger's was
But it
there where
was
Save
there.
a Lot was.
Well,
I'm not, I don't have the history on the Save-A-Lot sign as to when it was erected, but
I think that's-
it's a legal sign.
okay.
Because Kroger.
It's 72 square feet, and they're allowed up to 100, and it's in the proper place. I just don't know when it was erected.
Right, and it says
It was
in the code
freestanding
that
at
you
the
can
time.
have one.
Right. So the one person has one.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions before we go to the appellant?
Yes. The Chase Bank is also on that lot then?
No.
It's a separate lot,
Oh, okay.
but it's a little narrow thing right next to McDonald's there,
Okay.
but the lot goes on.
Thank you.
Okay. The appellant is, would you come to the podium? Tell us your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Brian Siddle. I'm with AutoZone Store Development in Memphis, Tennessee. The address is 123 South Front Street, Memphis, Tennessee, 38103. As you all have stated and read, I'm here for a variance asking for an additional freestanding sign on one single parcel. You all understand that there is the existing Save-A-Lot sign on the parcel, and we are also in the shopping center, but our storefront is not as visible as the Save-A-Lot storefront. We are actually tucked back in off of a different plane than Save-A-Lot, and coming from one direction, you can't see our store until you're past the store, essentially. We had an executive committee member and some of our vice presidents visiting the area, visiting certain stores not too long ago this spring, and they saw that they actually drove past the store and couldn't find the store. And they had to turn around and come back. Well, when they got back to Memphis, they asked that I look into doing something about getting some better visibility for our store there. So then I took the necessary steps in applying for a permit for a freestanding sign. I was denied, of course, because there's already an existing sign, the aforementioned Save-A-Lot sign. I then appealed the decision for the permit, and I stand before you now at the Board of Zoning Appeals asking for relief in order to install a sign to gain better visibility for our AutoZone store so that we can improve our business.
Questions?
Yes. How many years has AutoZone been there?
I believe, when I was doing my research, I believe I remember seeing that the store opened in 1997.
It's a long time. Wow.
So how many years is that?
Well, that would be 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah.
And this is the first time you've asked for this.
Well, we noticed that the numbers were getting low, and business hasn't been doing so well. So we think that if we improve visibility to our store, that we can increase sales volume.
Has it anything to do with whatsoever with the new auto parts store in town?
I'm not aware of a new auto parts store in town.
Oh, okay.
Have you or your company spoken with other people on that property about establishing a single sign that might have Save a Lot and Big Lots and AutoZone on it together?
We have not taken those steps yet. We wanted to take the necessary steps to attempt getting our own sign
Sure.
first.
Okay.
In the event that is denied tonight, then we would probably move forward with taking those steps with speaking with the other tenants inside the shopping center. What the result will be, I have no idea, because I haven't even began to talk to anybody about that.
Right. Well, okay. Questions? Yes. No?
No questions.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything else you want to tell us?
No, ma'am. Just that we would like to continue to do good business in Athens, and in order to do so, we feel like the granting of this variance would be beneficial to our business.
When you say that you are set back from Save a Lot, or
Correct.
sort of on a different plane,
Correct.
have you all ever considered using the same sign, but popping it out forward in line with the Save a Lot so that you're on the same plane?
I don't know if our pre-construction or construction department has looked into that. I am actually in project support, which I handle signs and only signs.
Okay.
When it comes to building additions and things like that, I would not be the person to answer that question. I do know that we haven't looked at that
Okay.
yet.
Okay. All right.
That's quite an undertaking. From what I understand, it's pretty expensive. This was a less expensive route.
Okay. All right. We'll call you back if we have any other questions.
Sure, thank you all.
Yes, thank you. Normally, we would say, is anyone who wants to speak in support of this variance? We have very few people here. Anybody who wishes to speak in general comment? Anyone in opposition? Okay. Last chance to say something then, or answer a question, or ask us a question. Okay, all right. Then we will close the floor at the moment, and we will go through the findings and see what we think. Okay.
Should we discuss amongst ourselves a little bit?
Well, we can either do that right now, or we can do it as we go through the findings, whichever you please. Want to do it now?
I don't know.
Go right ahead.
Well, it seems to me that it seems that the purpose of the code is to prevent the accumulation of signs. So it would seem to me that the first recourse ought to be to look into getting a sign as they have for the Market on State that would have all the tenants listed on it.
Right. The only difficulty that I might foresee, since I'm not the sign man, Save a Lot doesn't need to cooperate with that unless they're just feeling kind-hearted. And neither does Big Lots, because they have such a big storefront and such a big sign. So, but maybe they would be feeling cooperative.
What about the property owner, though?
Yeah, it would be the property,
Yeah.
maybe the property owner could
Perhaps.
intervene if they don't want to lose a tenant. That would be
Okay.
possible.
I agree that a sign for everybody might seem feasible.
I mean, that's what it seems to be happening. I'm not sure what the Athens Mall is going to do. They kind of took down their big Athens sign. I'm assuming they're regrouping. They don't have a sign.
The Market on State?
No,
They have
the
a
Athens
sign.
Mall.
But
What is-
nobody else has a sign that's everybody.
That's
Okay?
exactly
Yeah.
correct. That is correct.
Everybody-
Not that I know, except for the Market State. They have a group sign.
So they have a group sign, but, well, and CBS intended to have other people on its sign,
Right,
but that didn't work out.
because there wasn't,
The
yeah,
sign
that
was
did
too
not
big.
work out.
Okay.
I have a question for Paul. You know,
Yeah.
those stores like Burger King or that new auto part, you know, the advanced auto part store, are they on a separate lot?
Yeah, they're
So they have
freestanding.
their own signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all controlled by Ohio University and the Chesapeake Realty Company, but it is divvied up into separate lots.
Okay.
So,
So I guess I have another question for Paul, and this is about the code, because you say they're all on the same lot, so that lot is only allowed one sign, but I guess the way I read the code was that businesses that are grouped together, so I would have thought that the plaza as a whole would have a sign, and the car dealership would have a sign, and McDonald's would have a sign. So are you saying that of all of those businesses in that lot, only one sign is allowed?
That's correct.
well, but McDonald's has a
Yeah,
huge sign.
McDonald's.
Right.
Yeah. Grouped together is like the sign that used to be by Ray's Freeze. It's still there, but it doesn't list as many people that were on there as Lavelle's sign. And then they had, an attorney's office, a chiropractor's office.
Oh, right,
That's
exactly.
a group in one building.
Right.
This is not one building.
No, I didn't,
No.
I'm not intending to mean one building. I'm a group of more than one business, right?
Okay. So McDonald's is in the same lot?
No.
No.
They,
No.
okay, it ends
They're
at
separate.
McDonald's. Okay,
The bank has a little sliver out of the mall lot there,
okay.
but the rest of it is all one great
All
big
one thing.
single piece.
So in some senses, the code is discriminatory in the case where the lot seems to be terribly
If you
large.
want to look at it that way, there's no provision for the size of the lot.
Right,
As
exactly.
an exception.
Yeah,
And I think if you remember, when the then University Mall and now the Market on State Street, when they wanted to have the multiple business sign,
yeah,
they asked for it to be bigger than 100 square feet.
Right.
And one of the reasons they said was because of the length,
Yeah.
road frontage.
Okay.
So,
okay. So a solution might be a community sign or whatever. Anything else before we go through the findings? Okay.
Promotion.
Yes, we need a motion, thank you.
I move that we grant the appellant requesting a variance from Athens City Code 23.03.13.I-4-D to allow a freestanding sign on one land parcel in a B3 zone where a second freestanding sign, on one land parcel in a B3 zone where only one freestanding sign is the maximum allowed.
Okay.
Second.
Did you name the property?
912 East State Street.
Okay. All right, so here we go through the findings. Practical difficulty or undue hardship. Because of extraordinary circumstances or conditions pertaining to a particular property, a literal enforcement of the regulations would result in practical difficulty or undue hardship that is unnecessary to the achievement of public purposes.
I don't think there's a hardship comparing this property with the immediate businesses around there, but overall, I guess there is a visibility hardship comparing to its competitions, which is not in the same zoning structure, but nonetheless close by.
Well, and if you want to make that point, I would say that they're not competing with odd lots necessarily.
No, I mean, I didn't say in that vicinity.
No,
There's
no.
no hardship,
But
but
I'm
comparing
saying,
to the
but the
new.
things that is on the lot with
Right.
are much bigger businesses and therefore have much bigger signs. Or,
Yeah.
in fact, a freestanding sign.
Yeah, that's what they have it.
Okay, so exceptional circumstances. They are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question or its intended use of the property that do not apply generally to other properties or classes or uses in the same zone.
Again, there isn't, especially in this case, maybe they should get together, all the communities and
Well,
decide on it.
that's a possible
Yeah,
solution, but what
yeah,
is the
but,
exceptional circumstance?
There are none.
I don't think there are any.
Well, the fact is that there is one sign that's already been taken by somebody else, so.
Well, so I would suggest that that's a bit exceptional because in other lots or other units like this, other little mini malls, the lots are smaller, therefore most businesses can have
Right,
their own
right.
signs. So they may be somewhat exceptional here.
Well,
But-
when you look at the colors of the sign, as I drove by there today,
Yeah,
Big Lots is orange.
and
but-
huge.
And huge, but AutoZone is red.
Yeah.
And if anything stands out, it's the color red. And it was the first thing I saw when I glanced over at the plaza.
Well, but I'm like the guy from Memphis. I went looking for it and couldn't find it. I went up and down the street several times several months ago and couldn't find it.
Oh, I've never
Okay.
not been able to find it.
But
Yes.
that's because you're more product.
That's because I go there more often.
Okay, so that may be one we disagree on. Preservation of equal property rights. Literal interpretation of these regulations would deprive the appellant of rights commonly enjoyed by others in the same zone and the same vicinity, while a granting of the variance will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that's denied to other properties in the same zone and the same vicinity.
Yes, it'd be special privilege. Everybody in that mall would want to put up a freestanding sign after they've
How
been
many people are in the mall?
at least 7.
Little Caesars would no longer have to have that
That
man
person
walk up
walking
and down.
out front.
Right, I mean, they would definitely want a sign, I would think.
I wonder if they've ever gotten one single customer to come because of that sign. Walker.
Oh, the walker? I have no idea. It's scary.
Okay. All right, so you're saying that it would be a special privilege?
Yes.
Yes.
It could be argued to the contrary that in comparison with that other big, what do we call the giant?
University Mall?
Yeah, across from it, where
across?
Staples and all that stuff.
Well, they don't have a universal sign.
No.
Everybody seems to have a big enough sign.
Right, so
on
I'm
their
saying it could be
building.
argued that these guys are suffering by comparison because of the lot size being so large.
Well, I sort of think that's true, and they have a smaller building, therefore a smaller sign, in comparison to, say, Lowe's or Staples or
Well, they
whatever.
still have the option of changing the style of their sign and making
They
it more
can change the
presentable, right?
size. They can change the style, but they can't really change the size because their front is
Right.
simply smaller than everybody else.
Right.
Okay. Minimum variance. The variance granted is the minimum variance required to make possible the reasonable use of the property.
I would say no, that it would be better to look into the common sign possibility instead of asking for a variance.
Okay, so you're saying it's not a minimum variance?
Doesn't seem like it to me.
Okay. Absence of detriment. The authorizing of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property and will not materially impair the purpose of the zoning code or the public interest.
Well, I would think that we're dealing with, could possibly deal with the situation of sign blight. If we authorize one more sign, then Little Caesars wants a sign, and we have tons of pages of sign
Of course we do.
codes, right? All sorts of things, and so since the city sees that it wants to control sign blight, I think that adding another sign there would be a detriment.
Okay. Not of a general nature. The condition or situation of the specific piece of property or the intended use of said property for which the variance is sought is not of so general or recurrent a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation for such a condition or situation.
No,
Not for time being.
no.
I think not, although I think it might be smart for the city to look into controlling signs that has something to do with lot size, rather than just...
Yeah.
If there is enough cry for it, then they can.
Yeah, right. I agree. I just bring it up as the first cry. Okay. I guess we're ready to vote, unless you have other questions or comments that you wish to make.
No more.
Okay. We'll start with Ms. Lavelle.
I vote no.
Mr. Golsey.
Because there is a reasonable solution for this problem, I would say no.
And I'll agree with Mr. Gostley. I think there's a reasonable solution, so I'll vote no.
Okay. You also vote no?
Correct.
Okay. You will have the variance, and therefore I have the privilege of voting yes. Okay. Because I do think there's something inherently unfair when some lots are so large and some are relatively small, and they go by the same rule. Nevertheless, you will not have the variance. I'm sorry, I said you have the variance. I misspoke. You do not have the variance. And I'm looking at the wrong people also. So I suggest that you go home and think of some other possibilities. I think there are some, and maybe one of those will work out. I hope so. Okay.
Thank you all.
All right.
Betty?
Okay. Mr. Lavelle is asking to be excused, and we have an alternate who will now take part in the next case. Thank you for coming. Okay. All right. Our next case is 1308V. This property is at 268 East State Street. It's in a B1 zone. The applicant is requesting a variance from ACC 2310, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls, to add an addition to a structure with a front setback of 15 feet, actually 15.5 feet, where 25 feet is the minimum requirement. Mr. Eschenbacher.
Just if you read the materials, you know they wish to add an awning to the front of the building that is over the, at least part of the sidewalk area, if not most of it, the handicap entrance into that building. And on top of the awning, they want to put solar panels. And with the way the building is situated and the way they want to build toward the street that way, that brings up the front setback
Sure.
variance request.
And it is obviously a quite permanent addition, and although we're calling it an awning or a canopy. If it were an actual awning, would it be in question?
If it was permanently affixed, yeah.
But
Now,
awnings do
again,
wear
this
out.
is one of those situations where I don't know if they had one of those roll-up.
Yeah, sure.
I don't
That
know
would-
if that counts.
Well, it's,
In my mind, and again, we have to read through it and what Mr. Paskey said and stuff, if it's permanently affixed where it doesn't move,
okay.
then I
And
consider that
canopies do
permanent.
wear out. I mean,
Yeah.
all kinds of awnings wear out, so.
Yeah.
I think the main purpose is for the solar panels, so you can't have a
Sure.
roll-up awning. So.
Yeah.
No. I guess it never really occurred to me that the setback was measured from the roof rather than the foundation, but, okay, fine.
Anything that sticks out, that's
Okay.
wide enough,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe you could tell us before we move on, how is this positioned in relation to, say, Larry Conrad's building or other things that are...
Larry Conrad's is closer than what's allowed, obviously it's grandfathered,
It's
but
grandfathered.
it's closer, the front setback.
It's really almost on the sidewalk.
Like the front setback for Larry Conrad is something like 5 feet,
Okay.
5 or 6 feet, because I think the right-of-way is along the edge of the sidewalk, the
That sounds right.
inner edge of the sidewalk, I believe, well, yeah, inner edge of the sidewalk, so obviously you can see Larry Conrad is close and a couple other places. I think even Premier Video might be possibly partially in violation, not much, I mean, it
Yeah,
might be
okay.
20 feet instead of 25,
Okay.
but...
Okay. All right, thank
And
you.
there are also like maybe 3 posts in there with like a fence in the front. Is that already grandfathered or, because that's all would be the same
Which are you
setback
talking
in the front
In the front of what?
of the building?
The Village Bakery?
Yeah.
Yes.
The bakery?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like a
there's 3
post.
cement pillars, 4 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 or 4, plus
With,
it's got a fence in between.
Wrought iron railing and
Oh.
wooden on top.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the canopy is going to go right on top of that.
Right.
So
Which
they're
is a-
already there.
Well, but that's the handicap entrance, isn't it?
No, those are just the, like you
It's
said.
a walk-in.
Outside patio.
Yeah.
Well,
Also,
it is a
also a
walkway
fence
in.
like that or posts wouldn't count for setback.
Okay.
It'd have to be part of the building structure itself or something more substantial.
Other questions for Mr. Eschenbacher before we move on?
I think so.
Would you like to speak to us?
Hello, I'm Christine Hughes. The property address is 268 East State Street. Do you need my home address too, or?
Home
already-
address? Okay, great. Go right ahead.
As you probably know, I'd like to add a solar awning. I'm not sure if I used the proper term. It may be an awning or a canopy, or it's a permanent structure across the front of the Village Bakery. constructed by a local builder, and then covered with solar panels by a local company. The additional solar capability would allow us to produce hopefully about 50% of our total energy needs, including the current solar panels that we have. The request is for variance from, instead of 25 feet to 15 and a half feet to include the solar awning, which would come, I hope you guys have the copy of the drawings here, but it goes
do.
over the
No, we don't.
existing.
I don't.
I think
No?
I have something.
Just a picture.
Just a
Is that not
picture,
it
no
there?
drawings.
All right. I submitted it to the
Okay,
zoning
We've got pictures, yeah, okay.
commission, but,
John didn't put it in here.
All right.
so
Okay.
Maybe could you use the photographs to reference where
Sure.
it goes?
yeah. The purpose is to generate more electricity for ourselves, because our business, we're in business not to sell food, but to demonstrate and become a sustainable business as a model for other businesses. So it's an integral part of our plan. So I just thought I'd mention that as well.
Okay.
Happy to answer any questions.
I just want to make sure that you fully understand that you're not going to get 10,000 kilowatt out of that. It is typo in there probably.
Oh, 10,000.
It says 10,000 kilowatt. The most I would estimate would be between 5 to 10 kilowatts. So that is, you can power the entire street, with 10,000 kilowatts.
Oh, maybe I do have that wrong. But I guess our current system is a 10K, is that right? That's on the existing
Yeah.
roof,
You had in your letter 10,000 kilowatts. So.
instead of 10 kilowatts. Got it. I'm sorry about that.
Or 10,000 watt maybe.
Gotcha, gotcha. Math is my weak subject. Yes, so we will be able to double our current capacity if we are allowed this awning. And the only way to put it is facing the sun. We're already covering the roof of our building, so it's in a way extending the roof slightly to get more solar gain.
So what's the actual size of the,
It's the length of,
Yeah.
it's almost the length of the building.
okay,
Well, in
Which
lieu
is-
of drawings, that was my, yeah.
right.
Is it about 60 feet wide maybe? I estimated.
My
Yeah.
business partner, Bob O'Neill, maybe
Yeah.
could answer that. He's got
about
sworn
s-
in too.
I would say 60 feet wide, long, and
Well.
then about maybe 12.
How deep is it?
Hmm,
It's 12 feet.
12 feet?
yeah.
Okay.
But the length of the roof, the length of the canopy is 12 feet, but it's going to be only 11 feet or 10 feet.
Right,
down.
at the angle.
Okay, because it's slant, okay. Okay,
So a little bit beyond what's currently the patio?
It's just, it just overhangs the patio like a natural awning would over the pillars.
Oh, beyond the pillars?
Just
okay. So, say that again, 2.5 feet beyond the little patio place?
the pillars, and it would just be.
Beyond the pillars.
Two and some. No
Beyond
more-
the front pillows?
It's like from
Right
here
here?
all the way
The
to
further
that wall right there.
closer to the
Yeah.
street.
Closer to the car parking.
Yeah, that wall.
Well,
And how-
but
what
this would be
height
coming
that
out
is
to
Yeah.
lowest?
To here.
At the lowest, it's the
Okay.
code is
End
six-
of this right
Mm,
6'8".
okay.
It's a whole.
Well, here's the
But
house
it's,
next
uh,
door.
Yeah, I
much-
think we
much
need to-
higher.
Be closer to the
Back.
street.
Closer to the,
Yeah.
closer to Larry Conrad's side, to the west.
This
To the eastern side.
So
Mhm.
they're gonna put on top of it. So
You mean
it's gonna
post
be
a hole
Well,
in it?
there and then.
I'll ask a question while
Yeah,
we
go ahead.
So this is a permanent, it's more of a roof than an
a
awning, isn't
roof.
it?
It's-
Except that it doesn't cover,
No, it's an extent, she's right, it's an extension of the roof.
yeah.
Yes,
It's an extension of the roof.
that's
Okay.
correct.
So,
And if you're looking at the picture, what about this house up here? To the left of it? We talked about Larry Conrath, but what about that house? It is surely sticking
It's probably
farther
grandfathered, I
out.
mean, that's an
Grandfathered, yeah.
old house.
Right,
So it's not going to, it's not going to infringe on the right-of-way any more than that house does if you're looking in a direct line.
right.
Also the picture.
So the
of
things on-
curve, so you can see
Things
that.
on either side of it are more forward than
That's
it
true.
is,
Yeah.
or would be. Okay.
Well, not on either side because there's business next door to it.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
that would
And then
be
there's Larry
east,
Conrad.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And it sits back
Yeah,
ways.
that's a newer building, and this one is an older one that's been enlarged a bit.
Right.
Other questions?
I wonder if we should have him go up so that, for
Right,
the
we need
purpose
to
of
ask him.
speaking on camera. Maybe
On the
answer the same
dimensions.
questions or something, but
Should
just so
stand up
people
there.
can, you
Right.
know, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hi, Bob O'Neill, partner with Christine.
Same
Village Bakery.
same address?
Same address.
Okay.
So,
My question is, will the roof extend across the full front of the building?
That is correct.
Okay, plus 2 feet on the east end?
On the,
No. I think the 2 feet description was over the front.
that's why I'm up here.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
It will come out, because the way the patio pillars are, the way Chris Fox is going to be constructing will hopefully be constructing the canopy, it will be off the pillars itself, going up. And the pillars are, I think it's almost 3 to 4 feet at the very front, on the east side of the building, if you're looking right at the Village Bakery.
Okay.
The building ends, but the canopy will come out to the east 3 feet.
Okay.
Over the concrete pad that's there.
Yeah, over the path, it's already there.
Okay. What else?
I don't have a drawing here, right? Because I didn't have a drawing, right?
I guess I don't have any questions.
Anything you want to discuss quickly? John? Yes?
No?
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us?
I don't know.
Is the
It's going to be
purpose-
beautiful. How's that?
Is the purpose of this canopy, besides being the solar power for you, anything else? Are you planning on maybe serving thing outside for people, or?
We don't plan to change the nature of the business at all, but in addition to gaining solar energy, we hope to we have solar panels already on our roof, and it seems that a lot of people don't even know they're there. So in a way, a more visible solar front, I think, will help us promote alternative energy, which is part of our mission.
But you're not going to be putting tables and chairs for people to be sitting outside?
Nothing that
serve-
isn't
okay.
there already.
Yeah.
Nothing that isn't there already.
Yeah, because there already are
Well,
tables and
yeah.
chairs.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that's part of the thing that they're asking for tonight. And if the city doesn't like people eating outside, then it's their job to see about that. We are not legislators, we are only tiny permission granters for something other than outdoor eating.
How we're going to deal with it?
Yes, okay. Okay, so I guess that's it.
All right,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, anything else you want to say?
Well, I think I would like to be real careful in offering this, bringing this forward, in that maybe we put restrictions in that it remains an open structure.
Yes.
Because, you know, in the very near future, I mean, anything can happen. You know how things come and go, right?
You're right.
And I
Okay.
think that it would be important to, because we're setting this precedence and we like some of these things, but I think to protect.
Well, I think you're right, because once
Yeah.
you put a roof on something, then people can close it unless you say you cannot.
Right,
And so
exactly.
we'll put that condition on it. So would somebody like to make a
Would you like
motion?
to see any opposing or
I guess so. Yes, we have some people here now.
Yeah.
So anyone who wishes to speak in support of this variance? Okay.
Well, I have a letter.
Okay,
I want to
great.
speak on behalf
All right.
of our neighbor.
All right,
our great
wonderful.
neighbors. So it was really nice that they wrote us a letter, and, well, they wrote you a letter, but they weren't
I
able
think
to
we
be able
had
to
it.
be here
We
tonight.
We didn't get it, so I'm glad you read
I'll
it.
just hand it up to you, I guess.
Okay.
They gave it to us just the other day.
Okay.
It is from Dinty W. Moore and Renita Moore Romasco. They're our neighbors across the street. Dear Athens Board of Zoning members, I am writing regarding case number 1308V, 268 East State Street, Christine Hughes appellate, because we will be out of town next week and unable to personally attend the zoning board hearing on the matter. As the neighbors most directly impacted by the plans for Village Bakery and Cafe to build an awning overhang on the front of the structure, providing much-needed shade and rain relief for our outside customers, I am fully in support of the bakery's plans. As you can see from the photo taken below, from our front porch, the bakery is directly across State Street from our home, and we see no problem with this addition. The Village Bakery is an ideal neighbor and anchor for the neighborhood. We hope to see you fit it to grant full approval for this variance request.
Thank you.
Sincerely.
Thank you. Anyone else who wishes to speak in favor?
Maybe give it to, yeah.
Anybody who wishes to speak in general comment? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Okay. In that case, let's have a motion with a condition attached to it.
Okay, I guess I can do this. I move that property on 268 East State Street, case 1308V, be considered for a variance from ACC 2310, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls to allow an addition to a structure with a front setback of 15 feet, where 25 feet is the minimum.
15.5.
Say again?
15.5.
Oh, 15.5, where 25 feet is the minimum requirement, with the condition that the additional structure remain an open structure.
Okay.
A second.
Thank you. So, shall we look at the findings? Do you have any other discussion ahead of time?
No, just going with
Okay.
the findings.
Practical difficulty and undue hardship. Because of exceptional, extraordinary circumstances, the literal enforcement of the regulations will result in practical difficulty or undue hardship that is unnecessary to the achievement of public purposes.
It's a weird case because I think in a way the findings, you would have to consider the alternative energy aspect of it and how the findings apply to that, right? Because they're only seeking to do this in order to be more energy sufficient. So given that that's the goal, each of the findings would just apply to that. So I would say, yeah, to the extent that they're trying to install these solar panels, then there is a hardship in that there isn't space on the property for them to do that without getting a variance.
Okay. Well, and I guess you could say it's not everybody in town is trying to put up solar panels. So, what are the exceptional circumstances that apply to the property?
Same thing.
Same.
Okay. And again, I would say that the properties very near it are probably grandfathered properties, but they are in fact properties with smaller setbacks for whatever reason. Preservation of equal property rights. Literal interpretation deprives the appellant of rights commonly enjoyed by others in the same zone or vicinity, while the granting of the variance will not confer any special privilege.
I don't think it will.
No. I don't think there is.
Want to tell us why?
Again, because this would be, and this goes to minimum variance too, this would sort of be a necessary step given the goal of installing additional solar panels.
All right. So you're including that in minimum variance. The variance granted is the minimum required to make possible the reasonable use of the property.
Right,
Well,
because
you-
you could
for this
do
purpose,
a smaller
yeah.
roof.
You have to have so much area for the
Right.
solar panels to be effectively be making a difference, otherwise 2 panels is not going to do it. So you want to have that as area. So for that purpose, this is minimal.
Okay. The authorizing of the variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property and will not materially impair the purpose of the zoning code or public interest.
Only if they use one of those non-reflective, when sun hits it, may blind people, but I'm sure they have solutions for that.
They're not open late at night, does that make a difference?
Well, in daytime,
In the
when the
daytime.
sun hits that roof.
Not of a general nature. The condition or situation of the intended use of the property is not of so general or recurrent a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation.
Not at this time.
And we hope it becomes more general.
Yeah,
All right, okay, are you ready to vote? We'll start with Ms. Towsley.
I vote yes.
I vote yes.
I vote yes.
Yes.
I vote yes also. This time I'm looking at the right people. Okay. So, that's the end of our business meeting, except for addressing the minutes. So would you like to speak to the minutes?
Somebody.
I read 'em.
I read it, that's fine.
Okay. So you move that we accept the minutes?
I move that we accept the minutes
Thank
as
you.
written.
Thank you. Okay. So any other business for us, Mr. Eschenbacher?
Nope.
We adjourn. Okay. Thank you very much.